Hey, welcome back to the channel. How are you? How was your week? How are you doing? Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I'm sorry for missing 2 weeks of content. I had a lot of things to do, and at the same time I was kind of going through one of those like artist block periods where I didn't really know what to do. Like, I just spent so much time trying to think of a makeup look that literally 2 weeks passed and I couldn't come up with anything whatsoever. And it really kind of worried me because this has happened to me before with other hobbies that I have. It stressed me out because I would let this block go on for so long without doing anything to like try and bring back the creativity, to the point where I just stopped doing the hobby overall. That happened to me with writing, it happened to me with singing, and I just really don't want it to stretch any further. I don't want it to get into makeup because I love makeup. I love makeup, I love the art, I want to get better, and I just don't want to give up like I gave up on my other hobbies. Basically, I'm trying to get back into writing. I'm currently trying to finish a book I started years ago, and I really wanted to publish it at 18 years old, but now I'm 19, so I guess, I don't know, I guess it just didn't work out. But I still do want to try. I still do want to be an author. I do want to publish at least one book in my lifetime. So I'm going to definitely try and do that. So today, the type of look that I'm going for is kind of like a little colorful look, something a bit more dramatic. And it might work out, it might not. I might start over and do something different. You know, you don't know. I don't know even. I don't know. So it's just like a, you know, ride with the waves and just make it go on. You understand? And if it work out, it work out. If it doesn't work out, don't work out. And the background change. Like, if you notice, I just had one of those random breakdowns at 3 a.m. and just decided to rearrange my room. So now my bed's still there, but my dresser is here. And my TV's there. So yeah, basically. But yeah, it wasn't that big of a change, but it feels different to me. Alright? It feels different to me. I hope you like it. There's just this random background video on my TV. I thought it would be aesthetically pleasing, but I don't know, it's just there. I don't know if it's working. I don't know if you're more like drawn to the TV than me. Focus. Shouldn't be the case. You need to focus on me. Okay. Me. Right here. I think I like it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that much of a huge difference, but can work, can go on. So today, while I'm doing my makeup, I'm going to be talking about my first trip to St. Elizabeth that I can recall in my lifetime. And let me just tell you this once. As long as I live, I will never, ever go back there. Okay? If it's a river, I'll go. If it's a beach, I'll go. But I will never go back to that place in St. Elizabeth that I went to. Mark my words. Hear my words and mark them. Or be clear. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about that story. And yeah, so if you're interested, keep on watching. So the day started off pretty normal. I originally planned to visit my uncle that came from abroad because, you know, I haven't seen him since I was like 6 years old. So like, you know, I just really wanted to see him. Like, he really wanted to see me because, you know, something bad happened a couple years ago, and we just decided that we wanted to see each other, and I get to meet my family, like his wife, and her friend also decided to come along, but the kids stayed back at the hotel where they were. We were headed to Montego Bay first before we went to St. Elizabeth. But here's the thing. See, the thing about my dad, he has a tendency to get lost. Like, I know nobody tries to get lost, but like, he gets lost on a different level. Like, he gets lost too much. And I feel like if we didn't get lost as much as we did, we would have been back a long time ago. We would have been safe and sound. We would have been okay. And half the things that happened to us would not have happened to us if he didn't have a tendency to get lost. We ended up reaching to Montego Bay. My uncle and his wife and their friend, they were at the market in Montego Bay. So we decided that we were going to just meet them there, say hi. We weren't going to tarry. We were just going to, you know, just like say hi, have a conversation, talk about life, talk about what happened a couple years ago, and you know, just say goodbye and hope that we'll get to see each other again in the future. So we found them now. Everything worked out, you know. We took pictures, we spoke to them, we laughed. I showed them my makeup page. They said they liked it. They said they're gonna follow me. They're gonna follow me. But you know, it's fine because I didn't even give them my Instagram name to begin with. I don't even care. You know, we talked, we laughed. They were really nice, especially her friend. You know, she had a good vibe to her. And yeah, that worked out. So given how that portion of the day was going, I thought, you know, it would be the same thing for St. Elizabeth. I thought there was a house that we would go to and we would sit and talk for a little bit and then we would go home.
That is not correct.
The ride from where we were in Montego Bay to St. Elizabeth would have taken at least 2 to 3 hours. So we really couldn't sit down and stay long, right? We had to leave. Dad forced me to pack a bag to stay over in case we didn't make it back in time, and I didn't want to do that because I wanted to make it back in time, because I don't like staying at people's house. I wasn't raised to stay at people's house. I will from time to time, but I'm never comfortable there, and I don't really know anyone from St. Elizabeth, honestly. I didn't know who was going to be there. If I knew who was going to be there, I'd probably be more relaxed, but I didn't know, therefore I did not want to stay. No. My uncle, who was in St. Elizabeth, also came down from America, and my grandmother from my dad's side, her sister, and another sister that I didn't know about, they decided to meet up at an abandoned house that they grew up in when they were younger, and they decided that they were going to try and, you know, clean up the yard, fix it up a little bit so that, you know, in the future one day they could come back and just stay there if anything. So when I heard that story, I'm like, okay, then that's a good idea, that's a good plan, and I like that they're coming together to do that. That's exactly what I told my father. So he's like, yeah, you know, I think it's a nice thing. We can go there, we can help out. So we decided to stop at the gas station. We got some ice, we got some Pepsi, I think, you know, just some stuff. We just got some stuff to just carry with us, and you know, we can just sit back, chill, and just drink and whatever. You know, the idea wasn't too bad for me, so I'm just like, you know what, we're just gonna pass through, say hi, leave. I had no idea what I was going to get myself into. Good luck on this edit, Shiloh. Yeah, so we decided to, you know, start on our way to St. Elizabeth. Pops ended up on one place where he wasn't supposed to be, and that place, we ended up being 30 minutes away from the turnoff we were supposed to make. So we were deep into the jungle of St. Elizabeth, having no idea where we are, and then Dad had to call his cousin to basically give us directions on how to get back to the right turnoff. And then I got some bad news from my friend that day, so that wasn't too good for me either. So I wasn't exactly in the best frame of mind. So from then everything just started going downhill. I fell asleep multiple times during this trip. I was just not, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at telling stories. I just got sidetracked. But eventually we got there. There was this really steep hill that we had to climb. Dad drove the car all the way up there, and he said at some point we'd have to get out of the car and walk the rest of the way because the vehicle could not go any further. So I'm just like, okay, a country this, I understand. And I live in country as well. I'm a country girl. I'm a country girl. You know, because St. Catherine is not town or anything like that. But, you know, I understand, save that going, simple. We eventually got up to the top of the hill now. Dad asked me to help him with the stuff, to get some of the stuff outside of the car so that we could get on to where we were going. So I took some of the stuff, I took a box, I took a case of the water out of the trunk and decided to, you know, start walking. So this was a footpath, and I realized that we were in a very dense jungle type place. I used to live in Clarendon at one point in my life, so I wasn't really too fazed by the whole situation. I know what it's like to go through places like that, right? I just haven't been there in a while. I just haven't been to country in a minute. So I took up this stuff and I decided to walk. But then how I was carrying the water case now, I couldn't manage it. Like, it was just straining my fingers too much. I decided to take the box from my father and allow him to carry the case of water. So the box wasn't lighter in any type of way. I just had a better grip on it and I decided to put it on my shoulders. So then now, remember say it's a very narrow, skinny path where I go through now, and it's a dense jungle. So I asked my father how far we're going to have to walk, and him say, you know, say it's a good little walk though, but it's not impossible. So I didn't really know what that meant. What do you mean not impossible? Because not impossible for you, a fit person, is not impossible for me, an unfit person. So I need you to be clear. Unfit for you, not impossible for you, or not impossible for me. Because those two mean completely different things. I say, yeah man, of course you can do it. Of course you can do it. So I say, all right then, cool. So we are walking now. I remember say it felt like rain had fallen like in the morning because it was evening time, but the mud was there and it was wet. So like I felt like rain had fallen at some point during the day, and we just happened to come like hours later. And people, remember say slippers me there now. So we are walking now, and every single minute I switch the box from this side of my shoulder to this side of my shoulder, back to this side, back to this side. At one point, me nearly drop. I have to sit down and just stop because I'm so we soon reach, and I know soon reach can't reach. I said, I don't really want to bother do this again, you know. As me reach, me just want to say hi, talk a little bit, and then just leave, because if it's taking this long to get there, I don't want it to take this long to come back. And at this point, it was like 5 o'clock in the evening, like 5:30 them time there. So I know say we really can't stay too long, because I look up into the sky, not one telephone line. I look around, not one neighbor. We're literally going into a jungle. So I thought that it was just a footpath, and when you reach to the house now, you'd see like, you know, like a little nice community. Not a nice community, but like, you know, a little community there. And, you know, you'd have people around them. People, that is not the case. They had no neighbors, and there was no light, and there was no telephone or cable line or any light posts or anything like that. It was strictly a jungle. Green, grass, tree, vine, everything. You understand? At one point, we end up on a hillside. all know we can't reach where we're supposed to go. So I say, Pops, you know, so we can't really stay too long. And I looked up in the sky and I realized that it was very cloudy. Cloudy to the point where you know so it's like a rain eventually, right? So I said, Pops, given all this look and given the fact that I'm in slippers right now, we just have to just say hi and bye. We can't really too stay long because we live far away from here and I have things for doing in the morning. We can't stay here so for long. And I'm saying, yeah man, cool. But somewhere deep down inside, knowing how my father is, I knew that we weren't going anywhere anytime soon. We ended up reaching one place where we saw a little shed-looking structure. Like, you know, like one of them abandoned shop there, like one of them abandoned like, you know, like a regular shop that's in the community. It looked abandoned, so we just walked past it because we did not expect for that to be the house. He grew up there as a child, like he stayed there until with his grandmother until he was 4 years old, and even he couldn't tell that that was the house that he grew up in. Something just told me to ask him if this was a house, right? And I said, no man, I know the house this. We soon reach them. I know so we soon reach. The way how we found out that this was a house is when we hear one big what's it not cloth come from inside the house. You see, the thing is, my grandmother and her sisters don't get along. They hang around each other a lot and they always come back and talk, but they're not very nice to each other all the time. So we hear one big what's it not cloth, come fight me. And I say, what is going on? I want to keep another people in my house.
Look, can you see that behavior? What is happening? Who is this?
Until me hear my grandmother voice now, at them time them start realize that okay, I see what's happening here. And immediately I could tell that the sisters were there with each other. And that's how we realized that that was the house. Pops was in shock because he never realized that was the house that we were supposed to go to. And I said, so what happened to the place? What happened to the place? When I looked for the place, like it was overgrown. A bare vine, bare leaf, bare all sorts of things. There's no footpath. So we remember, so we're up on a hillside, you know. So we're up on a footpath right here, so. And the house they're up right there, so right there, little bit up, but right there, so. And the hill is coming down, and then you have the footpath here, and then you have the hill going down. And when you look, bush, okay, bush. There is no way through. We don't even know how they got through that section of the land. So we just have to step through, and you know, say me then and slippers, I'm afraid of grass, so I did not want to step through at all.
No, out of this. No, so.
So I met my father go first to see which part was safe to step before I went after him. Not sure if I like how that looks. Okay, I gotta line it up better. So we are walk up now and we are try figure out the way how to like step over the grass and climb over this and step over that and don't step on this and don't step on that, and somehow we end up reach. So when we reach now, we saw my granduncle, we saw my grandmother, we saw her sister and another sister that I met. They greeted us, they said hi, everything was good, everything was dandy. And we sat down, we had some Pepsi, we just drank, basically. We just drank something. And when you look inside of the house, it was a board house. And there was no, like you can tell that the wood was like really old and you have to be careful where you step. Now, I've lived in a house that had a room that had a board floor that was really old, and I was always told not to go into that room, and I've heard of people falling through the floor in that room, so I just never went there. It was just one of those things that I just didn't want to try out. Not even want to test it to see if it's real. I understand. Okay, so I didn't want to go into the house any at all. So I just stayed outside. They brought a chair for me. I sit down and talk to everybody. And I noticed you know, there were a lot of pimento leaves on the floor. So I'm just like, why so much leaf up on the floor? And them say, then pick off the pimento leaf them, because they are going to pick the pimentos off of the leaves and just harvest them. So I'm say, alright then, cool. So when we look up into the sky, I realize the rain start fall, like rain start drizzle. So I look for my father now, but my father not pay me no mind because he's busy arguing with his uncle about land. But me I look upon him hard enough, come here and say, Pop,
big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, Bev.
I am not walking through this terrain once again while it's raining. Let us go. But I never want to say it in front of nobody because I didn't want anybody to think that I didn't want to be there. Even though I didn't want to be there. I just kept quiet, but I kept staring my father down, but he didn't hear one word I was saying. So they invited me inside. I didn't want to go inside, but I didn't say that, so I just went inside. And I realized that my dad, based on how the argument sound, it didn't sound like it was going to finish anytime soon. So I just sat in the corner and just watched. So I saw that it was a lot of pimento leaves and a lot of pimentos, and they had a whole crocus bag of pimentos that they already picked off. And I realized that it's like a large amount of pimento leaves on the floor. So I say, I don't have nothing to do, so let me just help them out. So I decided to do that now. I decided to ask they wanted any help, and they said, of course, I didn't know that you'd want to help us. I thought you were dainty and them something there. I'm just like, I am, but I want to help out because I don't have nothing else to do, and I have no self-service where I'm right now, so just want to help out. I didn't say that, I just said that I wanted to help out. I started to help out now, and I started picking pimentos off. I put the ripe ones in one area and put the green ones in the other area, because apparently they use the ripe pimentos to go into like sorrel and them something, and they use the green pimentos to dry and then make seasoning. So, you know, it was a little therapeutic because it was like a repetitive action, so I didn't really mind any at all. But at one point my auntie said, yeah man, you can help out, come over here where I am, and let me find a chair over there. So I had to cross the floor to get over to where she is. So given that the crocus bag that was laid out on the floor where I have the whole heap of pimento leaves funny, given the fact that it covered most of the floor because it was a small room that we were in, I completely forgot that it was a board floor that did not have strong holding. And I'm a heavy girl. I'm a big one, okay? It is not safe for me to cross this floor. Because I forgot, I wasn't thinking at the time. And I made one big step, and the step that I made went through the floor. I dropped through the floor. The sister them start scream out, Shyla, dirty, this, that. What the hell you tell her to get up for? What the hell you tell her to get up for? What what's in that clock wrong with you? You should have just make her sit down over this and make her go over this and... So all this time me I laugh, you know, because I was scared at first because I thought my whole body would go through the floor, but it was just one leg, so it wasn't really anything bad. That my pelvis was literally hanging off the floor. That sounded weird. My pelvis was on the floor and my whole leg was like beneath the floor, but my whole body wasn't through the floor. I got some help to stand up, and then my grandmother come around because she wasn't helping. My grandmother come around and she start cuss now, because she said, look how you make Charlotte drop through the floor. Look how you make Charlotte drop through the floor. And this, that, and a relative cloth sense. I'm already up, so I'm not really business. I didn't really care. I'm just go back when we did that sitting. I'm gonna just sit down and just go and pick pimento while I'm at cuss. Around this time now, rain started to fall. I'm just like, crap, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to go home that was the deal. And I couldn't hold back anymore. I couldn't like hide it anymore. I just told my dad that, yo, pops, we need to leave because rain a fall and we can't walk back where we're coming from in slippers if rain starts falling. So I'm saying, all right, man, yeah, man, cool. I'm gone back and I'm still arguing with the people. And so I say, you know what? Let me just easy about myself and not bother get too anxious because people by them time here and night, you understand? By them time here, not night, it was just late in the evening and rain start tear. I never was still there, so I wanted to be on my way back home. It's not like I didn't want to stay around because they were entertaining. Like, even though them did a fight and them something there, they were entertaining. And I like the stories that I was hearing about how they grew up in a place and what happened and who get trouble from who not get trouble. So I say, you know what, it's a vibe. But the rain is falling. I'm gonna know say a problem for go back, and I know that my mood is going to change. I'm gonna want that happen in front of nobody. You understand? So I say, pops, we have to leave. And he said, we can't leave in the rain. I said, I better we leave now rather than we leave later, because my uncle actually told me, my uncle who was in Montego Bay, he said that he heard on the news that there was a thunderstorm passing through the island. So I say, Pop, it not gonna ease up anytime soon. I better we just leave from now. So I say, all right then, cool. And we'll go back to the car with one of my uncle and with it there, and he will come back because apparently there was another way that he didn't know about, and his uncle told him the way that he came. So I'm saying we'll go back to the car, which was in that direction to my right, and him will go around and then come in from the left, which is easier and the journey shorter. So I'm clear. When he left, like, the rain just started fall harder, and by them time here, it was nightfall at the time. And he start fretting now because rain a tear, thunder a clap, lightning a tear, everything, wind start blow. It come like hurricane. It literally felt like a hurricane that we were in. So me I say, crap no. And me decide say, I just so go and pick the pimento leaf then, and then when him come back, me just, you know, say my goodbyes, give them a little hug, little kiss, and then leave. But me realize that time passed, like a good amount of time passed, and I know them can't reach back. So me I say, where the hell I go on? So me decide to call my father, cause we did pick up little signal here and there. I call him 2 phone them, and guess what? You hear the 2 phone them start ringing at the next room. When I go around there and look, he left both phones. So me I say, shh. I said, crap. Crap is not the word I said, to be 100% honest, but you know, I said crap as far as you're concerned. I was just like, why the hell him leaving 2 phone them when me desperately need it right now? Because like, I need to go home. Like, where are you? So I start fretting out. I wonder if him alright and thing. And then I realized that one of my uncles went with him, so I said, let's call his phone instead to see what them there. He never did answer at first, but I insist on calling him, so I kept calling him now, and I saw we end up get through to him, and him said them will come soon. But like one little hiccup did happen with like the directions again. So I said, alright then, cool. So then now, after like one next 30 minutes, them end up reach back. And I said, there's no way that this is a shorter way, because given the amount of time we're going to take to come back, that is not the shorter way. That's not the shorter way. Them come back now and rain literally had tear down the place, like, and there were a couple like holes in the roof, so like it was leaking in certain places. But I said, everything is okay, everything is cool, everything is fine, they're back, we're going to leave. Outside where them little come from, there was a puddle. Like, they literally stepped out of a puddle. So I said, crap, if there's a puddle there and the land flat, imagine down this up on the hillside where I forgot. So my uncle decided to give me him shoes, one of him shoes them, one of him sneakers them for walk out, you know, and him tell me to carry my slippers with me. So I say, alright then, cool. And wrap up my slippers in a one scanner bag, wrap up my phone in a one scanner bag, which I kind of regret because if I had my phone on me, I would have recorded it. We put on the shoes, I take up the umbrella, and then we hug up the people and decide that we were officially on our way to leave. We step out into the thunderstorm. The place is pitch black. The only thing that helped us to see was like the flashlight that I had in my hands and the lightning that was flashing from time to time, because the lightning I'm trying to say lightning light up the place, okay? Remember I said we're going in this direction rather than this direction. So I didn't know this path any at all, and it was pitch black, it was night, and all I had was a flashlight and the lightning from the skies. Thank you, Thor. Thank you, God. We are walk through now, and every minute me I step in a mud, me I step in a river. Basically it became a river at that point, because like it was like a sink, like the footpath that we were on was like a sink. So like the hill come down so, and then go down so, and then it's like a curve, and then it, you understand? So that I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it was basically a river that we were walking through, because the whole of my foot wet up. I was literally moving through water. So I say, you know what, I'll just go and try it. To be 100% honest, it was kind of exciting. I'm not lie you. I was excited, and I kind of wish that I got some footage from it. I got some footage when I finally ended up in the car. Girl, when I tell you that it was like I was thrilled and scared at the same time, I didn't know what to do. Like I just kept moving, and I almost dropped on my face at one point. And my uncle, I feel like, helped me up multiple times because we nearly dropped. We move and we finally end up in the car. Throw the umbrella, dash off the shoes them, and just like okay, and take the phone out of my bag and just start record. I'm going to insert a clip either here or like somewhere down the line. So people, yo, I don't even know what to say. We just
Wow.
Thank you.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That was lovely, but I will never do that again. I'm good, man. Thank you.
All right, yeah.
That was great, but I will never do it again, all right? That right out there looked like it seemed straight out of a horror movie, all right? I was petrified and loving it at the same time. But I kept thinking something was gonna randomly jump out of the bush and consume me. You know, it was very scary. Do not make unnecessary journeys. Stay inside your home.
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads.
Oh my God, I was scared.
Now come.
But yeah, oh my goodness, it was a case. Like I was stressed out. I'm just like, what is me really come bring myself, you know? Oh, you think it's over? Poor you. Holding on to this for way too long. We ended up on another set of police people. It's alright then, shall I? Just pass them. Pop out of nowhere.
Naughty.